I would like to use a story to begin, one of my personal experience. Um, I live with my niece that's 2 years old, and she makes me feel like a mother duck with my little duckling. She follows me everywhere. I must say, bathroom time is no longer for myself. One day she saw me putting on my makeup and she instantly posed, being ready for her turn. She didn't even move from that spot until I pretended to put on makeup on her. Experiences like that make me feel awesome. I've been an aunt for more than 10 years and I have a total of 12 nieces and nephews, and 9 of them live nearby. Being an aunt or being an uncle is a blessing. I am sure all in the audience have known or possess an aunt or an uncle. Uh, what does it mean to be an aunt or an uncle? I'm going to explain what's the purpose of that man or woman, the value of the aunt of an uncle, and um, sometimes having them, it's like having another set of parents. So let's begin talking about them. So today I'm going to follow the stages in the life of a child and talk about different types about aunts and uncles and the role aunts and uncles play in children's development. You all need to know that the first 5 years of a child's life are fundamentally important. Caring Young from Hayes segment helps us understand the stages of child development from babies from 1 to 2 years, 3 years old, 4 years old, and 5 years old. Um, Babies and infants from 0 to 12 months cry, and that's the way they communicate. That's the way they move. Uh, Big humans to move for them. That's the way they communicate. They never ask for more than they need. Their crying is always specific, be it for hunger, sadness, discomfort. They need to know they can trust people. This will form the foundation for their exploration of the world, their independence, their confidence, their self esteem, and their relationships. From 1 to 2 years old, kids become more interactive because they explore the world by crawling and walking. They pull and throw things, basically anything that fits their hands, because they enjoy interaction with people. Um, they start speaking, and their favorite words are mind and no. They start uh, getting the concept of belongings. They also start doing tantrums, tantrums, and they express their emotions like frustration, anger, sadness, or shame. These emotions are the trigger for the tantrums. Their attention span it's still short due to their brain that's still being developed. By the end of this stage, from 1 to 2 years, they experiment with their independence. They try to do more things by themselves. So from 0 to 2 years, it's like they begin to be human beings, not just babies. They try to attach, no, get. How can I say it? Um, like get to be a human being. From 3 years old, I call her runners and jumpers for excellency. Children switch between being an independent human being into be treated like a baby because they try to recognize their position, but they can't assimilate it completely because they're kids, no? Kids this age might stutter or stammer because they're trying to communicate with words instead of just sounds or gestures. They might show jealousy when their family members give attention to other children. They develop fears and phobias because they're starting to use their imagination. Children from 4 years old become competitive. They try to imitate the actions of grown ups and they try their best to fit into society. They will start to realize the power of their words. They love talking and learning through conversations. Kids mix reality and fantasy because they use their wide, wide imagination. They may have nightmares or imaginary friends also. Asking why is not a good idea when these little kids uh, start doing things that we don't like because it encourages that they lie because the boundary between the fantasy and reality it's wide. They have too many ways to be apart and then come again with their imagination. They may mix experiences with stories or something they've seen or heard. That's how they act, they interact with people. And as I said, they love talking and learning through conversations. Sometimes too many words, too many questions. So, 5 years old, they start being able to share things because they're experiencing, some of them are experiencing school. They interact with others and can connect with others. They start making friends. They show empathy, being in constant association with other kids. They start making their own decisions. They pick their clothes and also start showing preferences with colors and food, shapes, or toys. The way we treat our nieces and nephews is important and it can help them develop in their best way. We become part of the foundation that forms children's future. Um, Health, um, happiness, growth, development, and learning achievements, um, family and community growth, and life in general. That's how we can help our nephews and nieces. There are some parenting styles. Kendra Cherry from Very Well Mind shared four types of parenting styles. One of them is authoritarian style. People that follow this style make rules but don't explain the reasoning behind those rules. They have high demands and expectations. When they are not met or are mistakes, they punish harshly the kids. They become people domineering and dictatorial. There's also permissive style. People that follow this style have few demands and rarely disciplines children. They allow considerable regulation, yes. Uh, they allow their children to be the judges of their actions. All of this to avoid confrontation. They like to be more open mind with their kids. We have also uninvolved style. Um, they present they present slow responsiveness, little communication. They detach from their children's life. They might make sure to fit and give shelter to the kid, but provide little to nothing in guidance and rules. And we have authoritative style, that's the combination of expectation and support that the children need. Um, these parents develop skills such as independence, self control, self regulation, establish rules and guidelines expected to follow, provide warmth, feedback, and adequate support. They nurture and support rather than being punitive. So we have thus four: authoritative, uninvolved, um, permissive, and authoritarian. By now, you may be asking why I compare parenting with being an aunt or an uncle. Dana Gutkowski answered this when explaining how deep love is for aunts and uncles toward nieces and nephews. The moment you set your eyes on your niece and the new niece or nephew, you say, I love them like they were my own. Well, let's say some roles that uncles plays in a child's life. They're teachers. Uncles and aunts are teachers. They lead by the children learn from repeating the example they're given. The way they perceive the world is through adults' eyes. Uncles and aunts create feelings of trust. Sometimes we may spoil kids, giving them special attention. However, their function is to be parents' aid. Um, Parents must deal with the brunt of education and information while aunts and uncles care of any deficiency they could find if there's any. Most aunts and uncles, well, they keep everything simple and fun. Jennifer Wolf from Very Well Family present the idea to spend quality time with children without the pressure to spend too much money. Aunts and uncles make kids feel important. The attention they are given is equivalent to the importance during the development. To give the sense of humor, it is important to kids. Aunts and uncles have secret weapons. They persuade you to be obedient. You realize you're being obedient when you are about to finish whatever you were doing. Karen Young showed the key, well, she shows the key to that weapon, saying, connect rewards to responsibilities. Some of them may start saying, how about you help me do this? Then you can have a dessert. That's a key. Connect rewards with responsibilities. Some aunts and uncles avoid arguing whenever they can because kids have black and white thinking. An argument can only end, and or for them it just means that someone is right, that they are right, and someone is wrong, that we are wrong. So it's better to avoid arguing with kids. So by now, I hope I gave you an idea of what it means to be an aunt or an uncle. Today I went over the stages in life of a child, different type of aunts and uncles, and the role they play in a child's development. To be honest, it is a hassle to be an aunt. I give testimony of that. And it's a road full of excitement and emotions. Uh, yeah, being an aunt is a blessing.